Welcome to our live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studios. Thank you for watching us on another Thursday night. We appreciate all of you. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Smoking Jim Frazier's here. Chip Hayner's here. And the Rookie of the Year on the crew, Nick. I gave him the night off, so he's not here. No, he's announcing basketball for Waynesburg. And I did hear him on Saturday. He said he was doing the first half, and I was able to listen and watch the first half. Him and Bill Hillgrove's grandson did a great job announcing that game, Smoking Jim. Wow. It was very good, both of them. So that's what I have for you. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and all the way from Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between with Verizon. So thanks you again. Thank you for all the Facebook likes, 6904 on the likes. So thank you very much for all those likes. We appreciate it. And I do have some promos here. We got Connor, we got Anthony here, and we'll see what Connor can do with this. How'd he do? Oh, there it is. Olive Oil's Pizzeria right at Hillcrest Shopping Center here. Check them out, 412-831-1900. Best Italian food around. We used to get the free pizzas. I got to check there to see if Frank still owns it, and maybe we'll get pizzas again for all of us in here. So we'll see what happens. If not, the second option, we're going to have Smoking Jim buy us a bucket of white meat and a bucket of dark meat for himself, and we'll share Kentucky Fried Chicken because we want to be healthy like Smoking Jim. Next up, the Bethel Park sorry for the humor, folks, but I knew Jim would appreciate it, and Chip. Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. I always tell you the red trolley's there. Check them out, 1905 schoolhouse, remodeled, re-roofed, new roof, a cupola with the old bell. They've done it all, new windows. They got different places there. And they have my favorite tea place, Reginald's Coffee. Great fresh roasted coffee from all over the world. They make a great cup, I've heard. I don't know because I don't drink coffee, but the Dragonwell green tea is my specialty there. So check it out, Reginald's Coffee. Next up, another 501c3. We end each show with Stay Joey Strong. The Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation was founded because of Joey dying at 9 years old from the dreaded brain cancer, DIPG. His family started this and raised over $100,000 with events and different things, and you can donate as little as $1 to the Joey Fabus Cancer Foundation, so check it out. And his birthday was February 22nd, and he would have been 16 years old, I think, so wow. Yeah, very sad. Next up, Bethel Park Community Foundation has grant money for you, $100 to $5,000 for your group and organization in Bethel Park. Go to bpcf.org, get an application. We meet every couple months. You can bring your app in and we can approve what you need to help do great things in Bethel Park. So check it out. We've given out over $1 million in 25 years and we don't plan on stopping. I'm a trustee on the board, so just come on down. Thank you. Next up, Dave Cable. I talked to him today about some other issues, and he likes to have fun at my expense. Look at that smiling Talking Machine face. Tell them Uncle Al sent you. I want you for BPTV to be like Connor. How about the skills of Connor on the camera? I don't care what Smoking Jim says about him going to Gateway. He's in Baldwin. He's homeschooled with Smoking Jim Loves, and he's wearing shorts. You could be just like Connor. And then we got Anthony. If you can hear us, he's going with the sound and making sure we still look good. But you can call 412-831-3304. If you're in high school, middle school, or whatever else, and you want to get involved with TV and video and media, this is the place to go. Anthony in the control room does his own show on BPTV. Just check it out. Does something with something called Mario Brothers. So all of you out there that know that. He does a lot of great things there. I've watched a couple videos. I remember my kids growing up on those games. I didn't play them because I'm not that good at it, but I like a ball and a bat because I did play baseball. So check it out. Then we have a sponsor where I test. This is the big test for Connor. I'm a little bit nervous on it. How does that look? Look at that. He outdid himself. I didn't have to readjust. 6103 Route 88, Library Road, the red, white, and blue station owned by Skeets Lewandowski. It's Skeets Service Station. They work on anything and everything that runs on gas. Don't you worry if it runs on gas, like Chip always says, make sure you got gas in it so they can try it. And if not, they do have some extra gas.
Did you get a manicure? It looked like a manicure up there on TV.
Smoking Jim, there's some, sorry folks.
Got good nails.
Smoking Jim, I got to just share this with our fans. I'll put the card down. Some of us trim our fingernails. Do a close-up on Smoking Jim's fingernails. Put your hands up. They aren't trimmed. His sweeties aren't taking care of them. But thank you, brother. I appreciate you noticing that. But make sure you call Skeets at 724-348-4715, and they'll work on your car. They won't do a manicure, and you can't call me up for that.
If I may interrupt,
Go ahead.
now I think you've explained to me why Smoking Jim never wears sandals.
Hey, Chip, I just got to share this with you.
I do got some bad feet now.
Chip, pardon me, I got to interrupt you. If you notice at the front of the desk, there's a couple toe marks through the front of the desk that when he stretches out, he's right there.
Okay.
Yeah, my second toe was longer than my big toe.
That says something about you, but we're not going to go there.
No, we can't repeat
I
that.
don't have pretty feet, that's for sure.
Oh, it's okay. You're a beautiful soul.
No, the beautiful
But I
say,
put cocoa butter on them. Little shea butter.
You sure you aren't putting cocoa pebbles on them?
no, he's eating those. He's eating those. You need a little virgin coconut oil. Look at this skin.
Virgin, yeah.
Virgin coconut oil.
I need that.
No, he didn't go to the race card on that. He went to the sexual card. So what's on your mind? Smoking Jim Frazier.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Coming at you.
you got to see Levine. My old right field days when they used to call me Baby Dave Parker out there with that gun.
No, they didn't.
They wasn't running. They wasn't running on me, brother.
Hold it. Who was your
They weren't running
center?
on you. They were running from you.
Hold it. One question. Who was your center fielder?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're
Who
supposed
was your
to say,
catcher?
you're supposed to say the correct answer would have been first base.
yeah.
No, who's on first?
I usually was the pitcher, so I didn't see who was behind me.
No,
No, you
who
just
was on
said-
first.
You just said you're in
Yeah,
right
when
field.
I wasn't playing, when I wasn't pitching, sometimes I'll be in the right field, man. That ain't gun. But I played all bases.
Tell
The
me how
easiest base was first.
how many games did you pitch in a season?
Almost every one.
Now, if you noticed, I asked a direct question on how many games did you pitch. I didn't ask how many games in the season.
I can't remember.
Was it
I
one
used to-
game?
I used to get disappointed if I didn't pitch. I almost, like, if I showed up and I didn't pitch, man, I'm like, oh, man.
Well,
I'm
I
going-
talked to your coach who you don't know,
Okay, good.
and he said he never pitched.
Oh, man, that was a good pitcher.
He said never. In Monroeville, I asked. I put a thing out. Nobody replied. There were crickets.
But I tell you what.
Bring in
Al,
an old uniform picture.
I
They
wish
never
we-
took
I
pictures
wish we
back
had
then.
Phones back then.
No, we had something called camera.
Cameras. I wish we had.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking
Go ahead.
machine, you must admit, all you guys must admit, it was a beautiful day out there today. I hope everybody had a chance to wash their car.
No, yesterday was better. It was 63 yesterday. And I know temperature doesn't matter.
I wasn't pointing the finger at the Chip.
Hey, I washed the windows today.
Yeah, there you go.
He watched it yesterday. It rained last night.
But can I ask you guys a question?
Seriously?
No knock against you, Chip, because you don't do this. But how come 99% of all the white guys that got trucks, there could be 100 parking spots out there, and they still back in? I was just at the Rite Aid. What's that thing? What's that thing at the end of this street?
Rite
Is
Aid.
that Rite Aid?
Yeah.
I'm at Rite Aid.
They just remodeled. It's a big sign there now. You can see Rite Aid.
Yeah, I went in there. See if I can get
What'd you
me-
buy?
I had to get
Tupperware
I wanted
from
to get me a
Kentucky
little
Fried
Easter
Chicken.
Candy. I wanted to get me some Peeps. but I'm getting ready.
A 12-piece dark bucket.
Yeah, that's it. I'm getting ready to pull out. And a white guy with one of those, big trucks, what they call Sierras, or one of them trucks,
Yeah.
F-150s or whatever.
Ford.
He comes.
That's a
I thought-
Ford. That's a Ford
I
150.
eased up because I thought he was gonna, keep coming. There's 152 parking spots. He backed in.
How'd he do?
That's what they do.
How did he?
come?
How did he do?
Make a quick
He
getaway.
did a good job.
Yeah, because you know what? He likes to pull out fast like you do.
But speaking of your people, I mean, Nick did
Tony
say.
at Chick-fil-A, if you're watching, he's throwing the race card out strong tonight.
Nick did say he wanted all of us to play baseball. But I won't go hunting with you guys. You ain't gonna mistake me for a deer. No accident. We thought it was a deer again. But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Thank you.
You know what?
What?
I was at Planet Fitness before I come here. There was a girl on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, I was staring at her so hard. She ended up getting off that treadmill, brother. I couldn't take my eyes off of her. Good
You know
looking.
why she got off? They do like a half an hour.
So he walked out. He walked out of Planet Fitness. He broke a sweat, but not from doing any exercise.
No, and I kept moving from machine to machine because people wanted to use the machine I was just sitting at. And I always made sure I had a good view of her. But hey, Al Levine, the talking
Thank
machine,
you for that update.
I went again. You're going to be proud of me. I went to Pasta 2 again.
Yes. What'd you get?
Prime rib special.
Wow.
It's on special. But I tell you what, I Googled Ziti. Is that what you call it?
Ziti.
Ziti.
I got that as a side.
Z-I-T-I.
Yeah, I got that. They
You
put
didn't
on-
eat it yet.
Not yet. I got that on the side, and then I got the salad come with it. 2 sides come with it. You'd be proud of me. I usually get ranch, but since I was at an Italian restaurant, I got Italian dressing.
Oh, nice, nice.
And then I said, you know what? Give me meatballs and hot sausage on the side. I like to try a little something new because the price is so good. I'm trying to try a little something new. Now, Levine, the talking machine.
Smoking Jim, I celebrated my daughter's birthday. I treated at Pasta 2. We picked
Really?
up,
What y'all get?
we had
Eggplants?
chicken Alfredo
I
fettuccine.
don't never heard of
I
that.
had veal parmesan. my daughter had chicken romano, and her boyfriend, he got a fish and fries.
Who paid for his?
I paid for everything. He's a nice guy.
You're going deep in your pocket.
I bought for everybody,
I would
buddy.
buy for everybody too.
When?
Listen, I
When?
doubled up on
When?
I put myself on punishment. I didn't bet today. How could I lose yesterday?
I
By
don't know.
betting.
Yeah,
North Carolina
Thanks, Chip.
State, who stinks,
yeah.
is playing Virginia, one of the best teams in the country, at home. Virginia is 12-point favorite.
Yeah.
I says, man, they're going to blow them out by 20. Virginia lost by 10. Even though I still tried to do a brother move, I took my slip up there. Hopefully the computer malfunctioned. It's like, no, that's a loser. I tried to slide it in there. Levine, the talking machine. So I'm going to stop. But if you listen, I'm on a hot streak. If I lost this time, I won't lose in a while. Give me some money, I'll flip it
Here's what I
on
tell
Saturday.
fans. Here's what I tell Smoking Jim. He says he bets 250. I don't believe him, but I tell him, let me hold the 250, and he goes, why? I go, I'll give it back to you next week, and you'll be $250 ahead.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up
Think
with
about
this.
it.
I'm going to wrap it up with
Go
this.
ahead.
Very proud. One of the greatest quarterbacks I ever seen, if not the greatest quarterback of all time. Big Ben Roethlisberger. I watched every game he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I watched every game he played for the Miami, Ohio University team. And listen, I'm proud that the Pittsburgh Steelers and Big Ben is going to do it one more year. Big Ben may get benched next year. Their schedule is so tough next year. Hopefully, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's the only good move so far they made by re-signing
Smoking,
Big
I
Ben.
got to interrupt you. They didn't re-sign him yet, but they said they would work something
Well,
out.
his agents confirmed it.
Well, that's what they've said in the media. They're negotiating in the media. We all know he's taking a reduced contract.
Yeah.
He wants to play one
I'm
more
happy.
year.
I'm happy. for
But
Big
he's
Ben.
giving
He
away
deserves it.
$20 to $30 million.
Well, he deserves to go out. Well, Ben's a golfer.
Well, he made over $150 million.
Ben's a golfer, and
Didn't he?
maybe he's
$243
Oh,
million.
okay.
He's made since he signed it with the
Wow,
Steelers.
thank you. I knew
He's
you'd know a
He's
stat.
a
I had heard
celebrity
150.
golfer, and he's probably going to dedicate this season like everybody should to Tiger Woods. May we keep him in our prayers.
I don't think he will.
I'm sure it wasn't somebody's husband that ran him off the road.
There was nobody around him. Smoking Jim and the Conspiracies. Thank you very much, Smoking Jim. We got so much information out there. Whew, I don't know what to do with it all, but I want to try some of that prime rib again. It was delicious. All right, Chip, what's on your mind? We made it.
Couple of things real quick. Three things specifically. Want to send out heartfelt condolences to former meteorologist at KDKA-TV,
Whoa.
Bob Kudzma.
One of my heroes.
He passed away today, 81 years old, and I have no.
And I met him. I actually met him.
I have no idea of
Nice guy.
the cause of death, but my prayers go out to his family and and the people that loved him. And in the immortal words of the commercials they used to do for him,
Yes.
fix the weather good, Kudzma.
Who was your favorite weatherman growing up?
I watched KDK.
It was Kudzma. It was Joe DiNardo.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what I was
We
born
couldn't
and
get
raised on.
Channel 4 in Green
And
Tree.
then
'cause
Sam
of the hills.
Nova at one time was a
Yeah.
was a meteorologist
didn't
before he
know that.
became a sports.
Yeah, he was good.
But anyhow, I digress.
Thank
Next
you. though.
thing that's on my mind is what is going on with the Pitt basketball team. I think the wheels are completely falling off the bus. Two of the top three players on the team have quit, completely quit. They're in the transfer portal. They will not play another game for Pitt. Now, Xavier Johnson, who was announced yesterday, he's had a bit of an attitude problem, and Coach Capel has been having difficulty getting him to toe the company line. Basically, you know, it came down to he continued to get technical fouls for harping at the referees, and the coach kept on telling him, you can't keep continuing to do this, and he would continue to do it and continue to get technical fouls, to finally to the point of frustration where Coach Capel said in the media, I keep on telling him that he can't continue to do this. I don't know what to do, you know? And so subsequently, he and his mom and dad and Coach Capel and Heather Like sat down, and they determined that the best thing for him to do was to seek somewhere else to go
Do it
play.
elsewhere. Do it elsewhere.
But an attitude problem. It's a cancer on a team, and I kind of tip my hat to Coach Capel for getting rid of that and not letting him poison the rest of the team. But today another shoe dropped, and
Yeah.
another of the top players went to leave.
Tony,
So I don't know how this is going to reflect on Coach Capel and what he's trying to build here at Pitt. Let's hope that they can move forward. And last but not least, Smoking Jim made mention of probably the greatest golfer of his generation, Tiger Woods. And Tiger Woods was involved in a horrific automobile accident the other morning, completely shattered his right ankle.
He's lucky he's alive.
Multiple fractures of his other leg. It's doubtful if he'll ever be able to play competitive golf again. He'll probably be able to play, golf.
Not as competitively,
but
yeah.
not as competitive. But the one thing that always seems to bother me, and this is we do this on sports talk shows, they do this on the television. I read it in the paper. Everybody talks about the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Okay, Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Yeah.
They like the
Tiger
phrase.
Woods
Yeah.
is the GOAT. And I have to beg to differ on my point of view about Tiger Woods being the greatest of all time in golf. Like I said, he's probably the greatest of his generation. But to be honest with
prefaced
you,
it that way.
the greatest of all time hands down, is Jack Nicklaus. And just look at what he did. Jack Nicklaus won 18 major golf tournaments, okay? Tiger Woods only won 15 majors, but more important than winning the 18 major golf tournaments, in 32 other major golf tournaments, he came in second place.
Yeah.
So, you look at that. He either won or came in second place in 50 major golf tournaments. If that isn't the greatest of all time, then I don't know who is. And
Let's
then,
get negative
one
Ned.
last thing, and I might need your assistance on this. I know Tom Brady has won 7 championships. Everybody says he's the greatest of all time. I could be wrong, and I'd have to fact check myself on this.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there's a quarterback that won 8 world championships, played for the Cleveland Browns. You know who I'm talking about? Otto Graham.
Otto Graham.
So, we always want to dub
What
somebody
about Bart Starr? How
The-
many did he win?
the greatest of all time. Bart Starr won 5 and 7 years.
Okay, but I thought he won a couple others too.
They won the 2 Super Bowls,
Yeah.
but I believe they won 3 NFL championships in a row.
Okay. I thought they had a few more, but I may
Right.
be wrong.
I could
Yeah.
I could check. I could check on that. But we're in such a hurry to dub somebody the greatest of all time. Oh, you know what? He's great and maybe the greatest of his generation. But if you're going to evaluate people, we have to wait until their careers are over
Right.
and see what their accomplishments were based on people.
Yeah, but you're telling the wrong guy asking for backup. T.J. Watt's the greatest linebacker we got his first year.
And he proved me right.
The one did. But I got a disclaimer on Tiger Woods. He ain't no smoking Jim. Smoking Jim's been in accidents left and right, and he couldn't walk for a while, even before my kidney transplant. He couldn't walk, couldn't tell us about it, and I was healed, and so was Smoking Jim. And this latest accident, head-on accident right at South Park, the bags went off. He said he felt fine. So I got to believe him. I used to call guys like him, I get biblical, I just call him Lazarus. Because he arose from the dead every time. And I've had a few people make comments. They go, Smoking Jim got some bad luck. I go, I differ with you. He has good luck. He survived every one of them. So that's a little shout out to my man there before he interrupts.
Otto Graham.
How many?
He won 7 championships in 10 seasons and reached the championship game in every year he played.
Wow. 10 for 10. Look at those nails. 10 for 10. Let's see those nails. Watch the camera there. Go ahead. Turn your hand around.
Who won the most golf tournaments ever? Was that Tiger?
No, he's
No,
tied.
Sam Snead?
Yeah, he's tied at
Sam
82.
Snead?
Yes.
Wow.
But-
Look who knew that.
The one good thing.
But here's the thing you have to take you have to weigh into this. Just winning Joe Blow's Joe's barber.
on now.
No, let me finish. Just winning Joe's barbershop's golf outing doesn't necessarily may count as a PGA championship, but when you're playing the major championships, that means the best players from the world are playing in that tournament.
Great
and
point,
that's
Chip.
the measuring stick.
I don't care what Smoking Jim
That is
says.
the measuring stick of greatness, because how do you fare against the best of the best?
You moonwalk better than Michael Jackson on that one, man.
There's nothing moon about it.
I'm just asking a question. But the one good thing I can say is, even though Tiger probably won't walk again.
No, he'll
after,
walk.
After that lady's husband.
He's like you.
After that lady's husband ran him off the road. But his son will pick up the man. You ever see his son golf?
No.
His son's a heck. You seen it, didn't you, Chip?
I'm aware that he has a son, and I'm aware that he plays golf.
You ever seen play?
Well, it depends on how many, how much of the performance-enhancing drugs he does that his dad did.
No.
I mean, come on. Why has Tiger had to have 6 or 7 back surgeries? Huh? He's paying the price for the abuse his body took
Look
for
at
all
all the
those years.
Steelers. How many Steelers from the 70s, including Corson, had heart disease
I'm
and
just
everything
saying,
else
it's curious.
from steroids, buddy?
Since the PED use stopped winning
What
so
I
many
liked is
tournaments.
those Nike red
I'm
shirts
just
that he
saying.
had were huge. And he was so thin. They were huge. His upper body was the torque that he put on that back. Oh, well. I got to go to what's on my mind. I even forget what's on my mind. I got to dig deep with this stuff. I'm just, I negotiated many multi-million-dollar contracts at the Post-Gazette 7, and we didn't negotiate in the media, even though the Post-Gazette was media. And all I'm hearing with Ben Roethlisberger is everything in the media, and I always look, I see smoke, so I know there's fire. When I see the contract that they put up there and say what it is, I'll believe they have a deal. They're just playing games to get the best leverage they can on Big Ben. Big Ben said he doesn't care about money. The Steelers do. So you know what that means. They're going to do the best I can. To me, none of this is a signed deal yet. They've been talking for the last, almost month about this. And I don't pay much attention, but it's bothering me because they keep telling me Art Rooney II spoke to him. Now, if they conjured Dan Rooney up and he said he spoke, I'd believe it because I know what he did. So just chill out a little bit. All of you that love Ben Roethlisberger, he's going to be 39, and we all know that he's not 22 anymore, except for Smoking Jim, because now he's on the Ben bandwagon again. He got off of it. I got to go this disclaimer, Tony, from Chick-fil-A. The last 2 years, he said, get rid of Big Ben. Smoking Jim said, get rid of Big Ben. The duck is going to take over, and I'm looking for the duck.
Yeah.
I see no duck. We'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Stay tuned.
Steelers show blitz. He throws the pass up. It's going to be picked up. James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline. 25-30.
Hi, Bethel Park. Uncle Al speaking. I'm asking you to come help us behind the scenes at BP TV. We're looking for some proud Bethel Park residents to help us make the shows that you want to watch. For more information, contact Station Director Dave Cable, and we will see you behind the cameras at BP TV.
In a world of Nintendo games, has grown popular over time.
Completing all of the levels in Yoshi Island. Have to find the secret exit in Donut Plains to go to the Star World.
But now on BP TV, a new show you've got to see.
Steady place. Oh, it came out at the time I was landing.
One gamer, one winner, one fan, one man. He is Bethel Park Gaming. It's an all-new game show to play around all Nintendo games he can find. And he is ready to beat one game in one episode. And you can be a part of this too by watching all new episodes of Bethel Park Gaming on your local TV station and both YouTube and Facebook pages every Monday at 12 p.m. right here on BP TV.
Steelers show blitz. He throws the pass up. It's going to be picked up. James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline. 25-30.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. Thanks, Chip Hayner, my main man. my field goal kicker at 55 yards. That's going to be a new gateway record. My man Connor wearing the short.
Disclaimer. He's home.
You don't think he can kick a 55-yarder?
Not yet. He's homeschooled in Baldwin. Just like you can't hold a bat. Tony from Chick-fil-A asked if you could hold a bat. He doesn't know if he's right-handed or left-handed.
I choke up on it.
There we go. Go ahead. Carry on.
The man that never has a hair out of place, making us look good. My main man, Anthony, on the ones and twos. Hey, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yeah.
Can we, since it's only 28 days in Black History Month, can we extend it another week?
Smoking Jim, I'm on the record as saying you should have some Black history every month.
should have some Black History every month.
Did you hear what I said? Pull the race card out. He didn't hear it.
But hey, I tell you what.
That means yes.
You know, for
But
you,
as long as you read it from the Black Negro book,
that's it.
baseball
For
book.
years, I worked for traditionally
New Pittsburgh Courier.
black newspaper.
What's the
New
name?
Pittsburgh Courier.
All right.
Put
thanks.
your nose in your mask. There you go.
The New
hanging
Pittsburgh
out.
Courier. And so most of my interviews was from black people. I tried
Are
to
you
interview
serious?
I tried to interview some whites.
There's
tried
a
to slip 'em
rumor.
in.
There's a rumor that I heard they wouldn't accept any white guys. That's a rumor I heard for years.
Well, we've hired some white
And
folks.
I had guys that
We hired
worked.
some white folks because they come to work.
We digress. Carry on, buddy.
But
What do you have?
I interviewed Ozzie Newsome some years back.
Wow.
The Wizard of Oz. And the unique thing about Ozzie Newsome was, number one, very humble guy. Ozzie Newsome confirmed with me that John Mitchell and Wilbur Marshall were the first two black players ever for the University of Alabama, you know. And he was amongst the third class ever. And Ozzie Newsome told me when he was in high school, he was actually one of the best basketball players in the country, but only 6'3". If he was 6'6", he thought 6'5", 6'6", he thought he could go to the NBA. But you can't play in the paint at 6'3". But he won a state championship in basketball. He also won a state championship in football. And his quarterback, which was a year older than him, white guy, went to Auburn. Now, when you grow up in Alabama, you either want to go to Auburn or Alabama.
Right.
Ozzie, like I said.
Well, it's how much you get paid.
Huh?
It's how much you get
How
paid.
much you get paid. Ozzie committed to Auburn
He didn't get paid much.
because they was touting that him and his quarterback from high school would be the next Pat Sullivan
Whoa.
and Terry Beasley
Whoa.
from Auburn, you know, who won the Heisman Trophy.
You're pulling some names on.
Auburn couldn't fulfill their commitment to a scholarship with Ozzie Newsome because at that time, 72, if you was black, you had to be recruited in a pair because black people couldn't room with a white guy
Because of
in
Jim
the
Crow.
South.
Because Jim Crow was in
With
effect.
Jim Crow and a whole lot of other things, the lynching and
KKK.
So they had an odd number. You know, Ozzie would have made an odd number, so he committed to Alabama because they had an even number, so he could have a black roommate.
In other words, he got paid better to go to Alabama.
And he broke every record there is to break. And then Ozzie got drafted by the Cleveland Browns as a wide receiver. You know, that was a deep wide receiver year. John Jefferson, Wes Chandler, you know, those kind
I
of
like
guys.
John Jefferson.
Huh?
Jefferson was my man.
John Jefferson was your man?
Yeah.
Yeah. And James Lofton was another one. So he gets drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Now, Ozzie Newsome, just to go back to the Alabama days.
Go ahead.
And I'll just go real quick. Man, I don't know if I could have done it. You know what I mean? Even though you may love it, but you're still, when you wander off campus, and at that time in Alabama, very racist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you talk about Jim Crow, the Selman March from Selman to Montgomery and all that kind of stuff. You know, black guys got hung for whistling at white women back then.
Sure.
Can you imagine if I seen Kim Kardashian? Brother, I'd have been the first brother home. Bear Bryant might have strung me up. But he goes to Cleveland. They move him to tight end.
Yeah.
His tight end coach was Rich Kotite.
Whoa.
Head coach Sam Ritigliano. Sam says, listen, we're going to move you to tight end. We think you'll be a great tight end. We think you can be a good wide receiver. We think you can be a great tight end, and we're going to throw the ball to you. Sam Ritigliano, after he got fired 6 years later, went to Liberty and found Eric Green. So, you know, he's a genius for tight ends.
Another
Sam
genius.
Ritigliano.
All right.
And he's still living.
Good.
And Ozzie went on to become an executive did good for Cleveland, did good for the Baltimore Ravens.
He was the architect of the Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl winning
throwing that
teams.
word around like there's a black architect, man. Now we gotta have another Bill Nunn discussion. Come on, man.
Put the race card up. Where's the
Come on,
race card?
architect.
Come on, Smoke. Thank you, Smoking Jim.
Ozzie Newsome, what a nice guy.
Okay.
But he didn't want to talk about anything in Alabama. He said he did say his parents they made a living picking.
Oh, good.
And he said his older brother was 10 times better than him, but when he came along, he wasn't allowed to play at a white school.
Okay.
So, and that's it.
Thank you again,
Very
Smoking Jim
humble guy.
Frazier. Thank you.
I'm dressed in my Pirates gear.
Let's hear what you got.
Position players reported at spring training. We got the first game of the Grapefruit League being played on Sunday against the Baltimore Orioles. But there's not much to talk about with the Pittsburgh Pirates right now because right now nobody knows who's playing where, what's going to be happening, who's the starters, who's the bench players. So we'll let this all sort itself out over the course of spring training because that's what spring training was designed for. So over the next number of weeks, what I would like to do, and I'm going to educate the younger generation here who's running the cameras, running the control board, and who's learning how
This
to
is
get
for
into
you.
the broadcast industry.
And you.
I want to talk about some of the great players that have played for this storied franchise called the Pittsburgh Pirates, who've been around since 1887. Wow. And the most famous, probably, people may recognize the name, with the exception of Alan and I, don't know much about who the person was and what kind of a career he had.
Smoking Jim don't even know who he is.
Johannes Peter Hannes Wagner, born February 24th, and I bring that up. I picked him as to start off because his birthday was yesterday. 1874. He died December 6th, 1955. He was returned to as Hans Wagner, was an American baseball shortstop who played 21 seasons in Major League Baseball from 1897 to 1917, almost entirely for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Wagner won his 8th and final batting title in 1911, won a National League record that remains unbroken to this day and matched only once in 1997 by probably the greatest hitter any of us here saw play in our lifetimes, Tony Gwynn, who matched Hannes Wagner
Padres,
with 8 batting titles.
Just hide him.
He also led the league in slugging 6 times and stolen bases 5 times. Wagner was nicknamed the Flying Dutchman. In 1936, the Baseball Hall of Fame inducted Hannes Wagner as one of the first 5 members. And the interesting thing about the first 5 members of the Hall of Fame, which included no less than Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Walter Johnson, and
What? You don't even know who they are.
but either way, none of them were unanimous selections.
I know, that's amazing.
Which is most baseball historians consider Wagner to be the greatest shortstop ever and one of the greatest players ever.
Oh, yeah.
Ty Cobb himself called Wagner maybe the greatest star ever to take the diamond.
Wow.
Hannes Wagner is also featured player on one of the rarest and most valuable baseball cards in existence.
All because he didn't smoke.
In 1916, Hannes Wagner married Bessie Bain Smith, and the couple would have 3 daughters. Elva Katrina, who was stillborn in 1918, so she unfortunately passed. Betty Bain, who was born in 1919 and lived until 1992. And Virginia May, who was born in 1922 and died in 1983. Or is that 85? 1985. Had to adjust my readers.
There you go. Get him.
Hannes's brother, Albert Butts Wagner, was considered the ball player of the family. In 1896, Ed Barrow from the Wheeling, West Virginia team that Wagner was playing on decided to take Hannes with him to his next team, the Patterson Silk Sox of the Atlanta League. Barrow proved to be a great talent scout as Wagner, who could play wherever he was needed, including all 3 bases and the outfield.
Wow.
Wagner hit .313 for Patterson in 1896 and .375 in 74 games in 1897.
Wow.
Recognizing that Wagner could play at the highest level, Barrow contacted the Louisville Cardinals, who had finished last in the National League in 1896, the 38-93 record. They were doing better in 1897 when Barrow persuaded club president Barney Dreyfuss,
Oh,
club secretary Harry Pullman, and outfielder manager Fred Clark to go see Wagner play. Dreyfuss and Clark were not impressed. They not surprisingly, as Wagner was oddly built, 5'11", 200 pounds, had a barrel chest, massive shoulders, heavily muscled arms, huge hands, and incredibly bowed legs.
But he could run.
They persuaded Dreyfuss and Clark to take a chance on him, and he debuted with Louisville on July 19th and batted .338 in 61 games.
Wow.
By his second season, Wagner was already one of the best hitters in the National League, although he came up short a percentage point from finishing the season at .300. Following the 1899 season, the National League contracted from 12 teams to 8, with the Colonials, one of 4 teams eliminated. Owner Barney Dreyfuss, who had purchased half ownership in the Pirates, took Wagner and many of his other top players.
Wow.
Tommy Leach
So
recounted
that's who owned the Pirates. I
Yes.
wondered.
Tommy Leach recounted his impressions of joining the Louisville club with the hopes of winning a starting job at third base. I hardly had time to get settled before it hits me that this guy the Louisville club had at third base was practically doing the impossible. I'm sitting on the bench the first day. I reported along the third inning, an opposing batter smacks a line drive down the third base line that looked like a short double. Well, this big Louisville third baseman jumped over like his legs were on steel springs, slapped the ball down with his bare hand, scrambled after it at least 10 feet, fired a bullet over to first base. The runner was out by 2 or 3 steps.
Wow.
So the player sitting next to me say, well, that's Wagner. They said, he's the best third baseman in the league. As it turned out, he was the best third baseman in the league. He was the best first baseman, the best second baseman, the best shortstop, the best outfield. That was in fielding. And since he led the league in batting 8 times between 1900 and 1911, you know that he was the best hitter as well as the best base runner.
How many stolen bases did he have? Is that there? I think it was 700 something.
Let's see here. Career statistics.
722.
Career statistics. Career batting average of .329.
Okay.
3,430 hits.
Wow.
101 home runs, but here's the interesting stat.
Tell Smoking Jim.
1,732 runs batted in.
Wow.
So you didn't have to hit home runs to drive in runs.
How many singles?
Stolen bases,
More than Pete
722.
Rose.
So, the
Yeah.
statistics are right there for him. One of the Pirates to get 3,000 hit, and not the only one. We'll get into the rest of these as we progress. Wagner retired with a National League record for most steals of home, 27.
Wow.
Which was broken by Greasy Neal in 1922.
No, Greasy broke that.
Even though Greasy.
In 1903, Wagner
He was a
signed
white
a
guy.
contract to produce the first bat with a player's signature, the Louisville Slugger,
Wow.
becoming the first sports person to endorse a commercial product. The Honus Wagner was to become the bestseller for years.
Wow.
And we get further into his playing. He played in the 1903 World Series,
Sure.
which was the first World Series game ever played. It was played here on the North Shore at Exposition Park.
9 games.
And it was a 9-game series, and the Pirates lost that series 5-3. And Honus Wagner did not perform his best in that series. He only batted .222 for the series.
Wow.
So he won the batting title that year. And the following spring, he refused to send his portrait to the Hall of Fame for batting championships, citing his play in the World Series.
Wow.
I was too bummed last year. I was a joke in that Boston-Pittsburgh series. What does it profit a man to hammer along and make a few hits when they're not needed, only to fall down when you need to come through
What a
in the
man.
pinch? I would be ashamed to have my picture up there now. Now that's the kind of an athlete that has pride in his performance.
Amen.
But, he was unable to win a world championship in 1903. Pirates lost that World Series to the Boston Americans, 5-3. 1909 was a different story.
Forbes Field was open too.
And the Pirates were able to take home the world championship that year.
Nice.
But
what did he hit then? Do you have those numbers? You got to have some stat.
well, and the interesting thing was in the 1909 World Series, Wagner and the Pirates were given a chance to prove they were not yellow in 1909. Pirates faced Ty Cobb's Detroit Tigers.
Wow.
The series was the only meeting of the two superior batsmen of the day. The first time that batting champions of each league faced one another.
Wow.
This later occurred 3 more times in baseball history, 1931, 1954, and 2012 World Series.
Wow.
Wagner by this time was 35 years old. Ty Cobb was 22. This time Wagner would not be stifled as he out-hit Ty Cobb, batting 333 to 231. Stole 6 bases, established
At 35.
a new series record. The speed demon Cobb only managed 2 steals, one of which Cobb himself admitted was a botched call. We had him out at second. We put up a squawk. The Silk O'Loughlin, the umpire, overruled it. We kept squawking for a minute or two, making no headway, and then Cobb spoke up. He turned to O'Loughlin, the American League umpire, by the way, and he said, "Of course I was out. They had me by a foot. You just booted the play. Come on, let's play ball."
Wow.
So there you go. A little of the history of Honus Wagner, probably the greatest player to ever don a Pirates uniform. Stay tuned for next week.
Thank you, Chip. That's one of my heroes because I read about him. I didn't see him play, of course, but one of my heroes with just the books I read about him, what the other players said about him. Just a class guy.
Where did I used to buy my tennis shoes at downtown? Was that Harness?
Yeah, my uncle Morris sold them to you. He was in the.
Probably.
He was a big, heavy set man. You
I
could
bought
relate
my
to that.
baseball. I bought my stuff from my baseball
Uncle
team.
Morris said that he never saw you down there.
My dad used to buy the uniforms for my little league in the '60s.
Yeah, we.
Right
Down
there.
at Honus
That's where
Wagner.
That's where we went.
It was right. It was right down. Not far from
near
where the
Kaufman, up from.
not far from where the paint can is
Yeah, I forget what the.
on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, but it's before Kaufman's. It was the street before Kaufman's.
Yeah,
You go down
Forbes,
that
Forbes.
left street.
Yeah, Forbes.
I don't know if that's Forbes. Is that Forbes?
Well,
And it
Forbes
goes to Market
Forbes goes
Square.
out towards Oakland. Fifth goes in towards Pittsburgh.
Right. Yeah, but it's one of the side streets there. Thank you, Chip. I appreciate it. Smoking Jim, thanks for your interruption on stuff you didn't do. Appreciate that. Your list is getting longer. On location, of course, we have our fights. 1712 North Lincoln Highway, North Versailles, USS Fight Academy. The 13th, that'll be at 6 p.m. I didn't get any more details except that Aaron Donald will be there with Smoking Jim and I handing out the awards. So we're going to have a great night there, so stay tuned for that. I don't even know the prices. They didn't post prices up. I talked to Jim because when he told me about Arnold.
Tickets are on, Jim.
No, they're going to have limited. There's going to be a limited amount of
He's on such a
fans.
roll. He's just going to bankroll the whole evening.
There's limited fans, but he said it might be $20, so that's what it'll be because it'll be
$20.
limited seating.
Pocket change to Jim
Yeah.
Frazier.
Yes. Well, his $250 will cover 12 people, so he's good. He's very good. I'll grab the money off him, folks. Don't worry. That's our on location. We're going to come back and we're going to talk some Penguin talk. Don't change that channel.
And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off. Michael Harris has it.
Bethel Park Inline Hockey. It's fast, it's fun, and we want you to play. Inline hockey is just like ice hockey, but no ice, and significantly less expensive and far less of a time commitment. Way less travel than ice hockey, too. The sport is played on a specialized rink at the Bridgeville Rollerplex, RMU Island Sports Complex, Harmerville's Alpha Arena, Hot Shots Indoor Sports Arena, and the Murraysville Sports Zone. Our teams play in the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Roller Hockey League, or the PIRHL. Each year, teams from elementary, middle, and high school play a 16-game schedule, plus playoffs, from October through March. practice one evening a week, and games on Saturdays or Sundays. The sport is recognized by the Bethel Park School District, which means student athletes can earn a letter once they reach high school. We play rivals such as Upper St. Clair, Peters Township, Canon-Mac, Pine Richland, North Hills, and so many more. This is no pickup game. You'll need regulation pads, hockey skates, helmets, and the coolest Hawks uniforms around. 2 refs at every game officiate 3 15-minute periods with a running clock. No icing, no offsides, no checking. But this sport will rock you. Registration is coming up, so check out our website at www.bpinlinehockey.com and sign up soon. Let's play!
And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off! Randall Harris has it!
Thank you. Live TV, folks. Little blunder there. We were doing a little side talking. Smoking Jim was bragging about going to Honus Wagner and getting all his non-baseball stuff there. But we got that straightened out. Penguin talk. Penguins have won last 4 out of 5. And I'm amazed, Chip, that Jari is playing goal very well, and he's handling the puck. If you notice so many games, it looks like he was restricted with his stick handling, and he's actually good at it, that now he's doing that. And he's made some great stops.
And he's playing his way out of his early season funk.
Yes, he is.
And right now the Penguins are down 1-0 at the end of the first period. They're playing Washington, and I believe in Washington tonight. And the Penguins had 9 games against the 2 teams ahead of them in the in the standings, the Washington Capitals and the New York Islanders, because of the games that were postponed due to the COVID outbreaks.
Yeah.
And the Penguins have fared very well so far this year. They're 4-1 against the Washington Capitals, and they won the other night. Chris Letang got his first 2 goals of the year.
Yes, he looked good.
Evgeny Malkin scored for the first time.
He showed up.
That anybody can remember.
And he played a great game, Chip.
And the Penguins are surprising me. I'm still skeptical. I don't know if their model that they're exhibiting this year is sustainable. But, hey, the fact of the matter is they keep getting 2 points every night, and that's going to keep them in the hunt. And
Here's
the
an
teams that they're
interesting
battling
stat, yeah.
for the position.
They're behind in almost every game. And here's what's odd. In 1-goal games with a victory, they're 8-1.
Well, here's another
That's
interesting
a great
thing.
stat to win those
How
1-goal
long
games.
has Ron Hextall been general manager of the Penguins?
About a month.
About 2 weeks?
Close to a month now, I think.
I think it's, well, but
Yeah.
that being said, already Ron Hextall swooped in and caught the Philadelphia Flyers napping. The Flyers had a defenseman. He's a right-handed shooting defenseman, which the Penguins do not have enough of.
Yeah.
He was somebody that was part of the 2014 draft class, which Ron Hextall was the GM of Philadelphia, and he drafted this player.
Sure, so he knows
And
him.
Philadelphia tried to sneak him through waivers so they could send him down to their minor league affiliate because they were going to bring him up later in the year. And
got him.
Hextall got him on the waiver wires. We got him for nothing.
Wow.
We got him for nothing. Didn't cost us. We didn't have to trade anybody.
What a
we didn't have to
move.
give up draft picks. And the Flyers are sitting there thinking that, you know what, we just got had. And hopefully this is somebody that can be, you know, and if the Penguins need anything, they need help on the defense.
Right.
And now they've got a right-handed shot because the Penguins were stacked with left-handed shooting defensemen. And you know what the significance of that is, right, Jim?
Let me see him hold a bat again. Lefty or righty? No, thanks, Chip. No, it makes sense because, you know, I watch the Penguins too, and with all the injuries they've had on defense and with Letang reverting back to his not good playing, but the errors that he makes, he made more of them. So he came on strong, and Malkin was unusual because I always watch him. Always in the center of the ice, he's good at getting the puck and moving up. He wasn't doing that until the other night.
Yeah,
and
well,
he played good from the beginning till the end.
You know, and you know, Evgeny's got to do more than score a goal. I mean, he's got to. I mean, granted, let me tell you something. Father Time is undefeated. There
Yes,
isn't.
I say
There
it all
isn't
the
a
time.
professional athlete that has ever beaten Father Time. And maybe he's lost a step, but he still may not be the dominant player that he was. But he could still be, and the Penguins need him in his second line
Yeah.
to be a major contributor.
Right.
Which with the lack of production from the second line and the absolute
third line's been good.
non-existence of a fourth line.
Right, the third line's been pretty good, though.
When the Penguins won Stanley Cups, they won it with 4 lines.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you don't have 4 productive lines out there, it's going to be a long season. So
Yeah.
Penguins have some work to do, but you know what? The arrow's pointing up for them right now.
Oh yeah, and they haven't played, the worst teams out there yet. They haven't even played them. They've been playing the better
but
teams.
you know what? I mean, I hate when I hear that they're playing, because what happens to the Steelers when they play the worst
Down
team
to
in
the
the league?
level.
What happens to the Pirates
Down
when
to
they
the
play
level.
it's like, what?
Down to that
There
level.
are professional teams, and these guys have a lot of pride. They get paid for a living, and none of them is okay with being embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to go out and they're going to put it on the line because
Worst
that's
teams
what they.
than the Pirates?
Yes, there is. Yeah, the Pirates' chances of making the playoffs this year is 0.04%. You know what the percentage chance the Baltimore Orioles have of making the playoffs this year? 0.00. So you know what? I'm hanging my hat on it, brother.
Way to go, Chip. I'm glad you found that nugget. That little nugget. No, we got less than a minute and a quarter here to go. I was at Aldi's the other day, and I ran into a guy that played football, and we were talking, and I told him I had a show, so I got a shout out to Dave from at Aldi's. He's 71 years old. Nice guy.
71 years young.
Well, whatever. I'm 64 and a half years old, so I don't care.
And I'm a child.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I talked to him. Shout out if you're still watching the show. I didn't do it at the beginning. We had a little disruption with no Nick, and then we went to it, and I just winged it. But I remembered you now, Dave. Great conversation. He's a Bethel Park resident, so he's watching the show. He said he would check us out, and nice to meet you. Meeting these people at Giant Eagle, Aldi's, watching the show. So can't beat that. Thank you, all of you, for watching the show. Any other sports, Smoking Jim? What else?
You ever meet anybody at KFC?
I've been in it a couple times, and I asked about Smoking Jim Frazier.
I got a question.
Yeah,
Why are they playing the NBA All-Star game?
I don't know.
It totally baffles me.
Great question, and they should not.
I don't believe that they should. If they want to try to, I think it'd be more important for them to play the season and make and play the playoffs. What is one game?
And if you want to honor Kobe, honor him with the logo.
Hey, here's what.
Logo.
Why do you need to watch another basketball game where nobody plays defense? Just watch the NBA on any given night.
I know. My son asked me to watch, and I'll watch a quarter or so. But hey, thank you for watching. Please stay Joey strong.